Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Link to the Past Randomizer League Season 2. And apparently, there's some mic active. That threw me off a bit. But yes, we have MrScruffNinjaTuna versus Humbug. Team Hyrule Track and Field up against Team Forfeiters R Us, as you can see by the scores there. Team Forfeiters R Us has 6 points. They won both of their Week 1 races. Hyrule Track and Field only has 3 points. Won one race, lost the other one. So, gonna be really good here. I, of course, am Wolfling037, and joining me in the mic is Freddy. How's it going?
Good afternoon / morning, actually, for me still. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. So, folks, today we are featuring an Ambrosia seed, and this is a rather unique seed. As you can see, we are starting with a sword here on the menu. We will have access to it from the get-go. We will not be able until we talk to the uncle, which, yes, this is a standard seed. And Uncle will give us a boots hint.
Yep, so we'll be able to get early boots access. Well, I say access. We'll be able to get info on where boots are. Not necessarily early boots access. It could have silly things like it's in Light World on pedestal. Or, silly things like that.
Yeah.
But the other thing that Ambrosia's really makes interesting is there is a guaranteed non-dungeon item on each dungeon's boss. So every dungeon can be routed slightly differently. So say you get 2 items pretty early out of Eastern Palace, you don't have to go over to check the big key chest, unless, of course, you need the big key still, because you know that the last item will be on Armos himself. And with that, it looks like we're getting started.
Boots are in the Death Mountain.
Oh, the Death Mountain doesn't count as Light World. Good to know.
Yeah, that's
the Death Mountain.
Yeah. And 50 to start things off. So you'll notice that even though we have a sword, they're lifting the bush instead of slashing them. That's actually kind of an intended feature here as we see the map. Desert is a 5/6, hair is a normal crystal, red pendant over in Eastern.
Pendant Eastern, always fun.
But yeah, even though we started with a sword in our inventory, we can't actually use it until we talk to the uncle here. It's sort of like, hey, you can't start swinging your sword until you actually trigger this scene in standard.
Congratulations, you now have a sword. It comes in the form of 10 arrows.
Yeah, so now their sword is active.
So as in most, or any regular standard seed, the thing we'll be looking for the most right now is, or the runners at least, will be trying to find a bomb in order to get to the back 3 chests of the escape here. You need either the bomb or boots, which we know we're not going to be getting since we know they're on Death Mountain. We'll open up the back, otherwise you have to drop back down once you find the gloves, which can sometimes take a while. So we'll be seeing kills on guards, kills on rats, kills on snakes, if necessary to find bombs, or hopefully we can just get them out of the chest.
Yeah. Another good thing that we might want to see here, ironically, is Boomerang. Because the stun prize is a fixed item, and the item pools, the whole package of the prize pool will stay the same, but the enemies that have the prize packs is shuffled. So the bomb prize pack may not be on the guards or the rats or the snakes.
Yep. I think I saw non-bombs off of the green guard, so... That's a heart off of the blue guard. Which I believe is the same prize pack, no?
Yeah, I think green guards are in their own prize pack, same with the rats. I think the rats are in a different one.
Yeah, I believe the rats and snakes are both on different prize packs.
Yeah. I don't remember if the guards share a prize pack with the rats or the snakes. I want to say they share one with
I think it's different for all 3.
I don't remember.
Oh, no, it sounds like snakes are the same prize pack as the guards.
Yeah, that makes most sense.
I admit that I have not spent enough time studying the prize packs.
I know in the middle of the game, the rats are part of the rupee prize pack, and they can drop 20 rupees.
Okay, each runner doing the 1 pot and slash the guard strat. Humbug getting there a little bit fast. Reward with the piece of heart. So still no bombs. We'll have to hope the rats themselves have something.
Yeah.
The number next to each of our teams is the number of points they have in the league. You get 3 points for a win, 1 for a tie, and 0 for a loss. So in this case, Forfeiters or us have won 2 races, while High Road Track and Field have won 3. Or 1, sorry.
Yeah. And a tie is determined in SRL by a 2-second difference. If they finish within that margin, it's considered a tie.
You know, I forgot how much there isn't to talk about in the start of standards.
Yeah,
So-
there's not much to say here. The standard save sequence is basically the vanilla opening of the game we know and love, just a little different because of the randomizer.
Give me an interesting anecdote. Or
I
any
really can't-
anecdote.
I don't know any. Sorry.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it's basically the first 5, 6, 7 minutes, depending on execution level of the game, just played out before the seed just opens up to us and we can explore the world at our leisure.
Okay. Well, one thing actually I'll talk about while we're here is we did get a bottle with a golden bee in it, which means we could sell that at the guy, the bottle merchant for 100 rupees. So that could be a little bit of a boost, gets free rupees, and also let your runners buy bombs on top of it once they get there. Plus, of course, you get the...
Well, they don't have to worry about it.
Yep, the worrying about bombs thing is past, really. Still would be nice and faster to get some, but... Ooh, rats are the bomb prize pack, though.
And the rats are in the bomb pack. Both runners stocking up, getting 3 bombs each.
Yep.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, there's a question in chat about sword. In Ambrosia, you start with a sword, so all of our runners get a sword at the...
Another 4-pack, so Mr. Scruff is very well equipped with bombs. And that's all they are dropping, these rats.
I love that bomb prize pack.
20 rupees, a mail, and the map. So there is one other item left in the sanctuary chest. We'll see that pick it up in a moment.
Scruff using his extra bombs there to go through the top, which is a bit of a time game. That'll put him out just a bit ahead of Humbugh.
Oh!
Nope,
Oh,
goes
he
back
goes
for
back
it.
for it. Good.
It's 4 bombs, it's worth it.
Indeed. I think these are part of the Hinox prize pack.
And then
actually.
skips the 1 bomb afterwards, I like it.
So about a 6-minute escape, pretty standard fare. And now the seat is open to us.
Okay, Scruff got his map check out of the way now, so you can see that there's that Pendant Eastern and 5-6 Desert. You'll see, looks like Humbugh might be skipping the Lumberjack check here, yep. So Scruff may have some unique info.
Well, we know the boots are on Death Mountain, but at the same time, if the boots are required for Lumberjack, we kind of need to prioritize getting up there sooner rather than later.
Ooh,
Mirror, though, that's a good find.
early mirror's always nice.
And that's the very
Piece of
tip
heart.
the yeah. Just the very
Ah.
bottom corner of it. And
I
that's the
hand
Moon
the
Pearl.
Moon Pearl. Okay. We're starting off with a bang here.
See, he's starting to pick up finally. Our runners are okay on bombs, but I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to find 50 more rupees and just buy some more before they leave town.
Yeah. This is actually kind of interesting with Moon Pearl, Mirror, and Glove. We may see some interesting routing happening here because all you really need is a hammer, and you could do things like doubling up the South Shore check and things like that.
Or
So
the
we
second
may-
glove, even.
Or the second glove, for that matter, yeah. We still have all of Kakariko to go, too.
Yep.
That's a
There's
flute.
flute.
Oh boy. And 3 more bombs, wow. And another empty bottle.
Just in case he didn't get the one in escape. Oh, Scruff is going straight up to Death Mountain.
Oh, but he missed the hook shot right there that Humbug just found.
Oh, goodness.
So with an East Dark Death Mountain, Humbug has the advantage there for getting the boots.
Yeah, this is technically in logic, but without that hook shot, it's not going to be quite as useful as Humbug's trip up there.
Yeah. And that's something to know. This, you say it's in logic, with the exception of what he's doing right now, turning in the old man. That requires the lamp.
True. And fittingly, it didn't give us anything. Let's see, what's in the rest of this? More rupees, a can of Burna, and another piece of heart. So, nothing else in the dam there. Not the dam. The well. The well. Oh well.
And Bottle Merchant selling 20 rupees for 100.
What a ripoff.
And the food is coming online for Humbug. There's a sword upgrade that's a mouth.
Ooh, and the mitts.
Which we know are also in logic. Ooh.
Talking about that early access to Dark World, he can actually double up Village of Outcasts and Kakariko, which is actually kind of interesting.
Indeed.
I don't know if I've seen that happen in a seed in a long time. Or at least a non-like cross-key seed or something, but...
Alright, as we continue down here.
I'm going to see a bomb jump here. He actually can go kill Moldorm and Hera as well, so... Unless it's fire-locked.
Yeah, and unfortunately doesn't even have the hook shot for the Herapod trick.
Yeah.
Here's our map check, though.
Pendant Skull Woods and Pendant Turtle Rock.
Pendant Skull Woods, Green Pendant specifically, and Blue Pendant Turtle Rock. 5-6 is over in Pod as well. This could be a seed in which you don't need the Fire Rod.
Yeah. That's what I was just thinking as well.
And something else to point out, because of how Ambrosia works and the boss things, key nuances like a small key on Colster means Cane of Samaria is required for the dungeon.
And there's that big key, so Moldorm is killable.
But in this case, because Ambrosia guarantees that it has to be an item in the item pool, it cannot be a small key, big key, map, or compass on the bosses this seed.
Wow, and there's the item, so Moldorm's holding the other item, you can just skip the chests on the way.
Yep. So things like, things like these Cane of Samaria logic requirements for potential Ice Palace key logic, those are just go out the window here in Ambrosia. You don't have to worry about it too much.
Very nice crystal switch room, by the way, from Scruff Ninja. So like I said, since we know the last item is on Moldorm himself, just gonna skip these chests. Or not. Someone's forgetting that this is Ambrosia.
Well then.
And the key's in the basement, so, you know, that's nice.
Yes, that's another thing we should probably mention, is that this is 100% inventory as well, which basically is the one-to-one key logic checks can happen. So small keys can lock themselves. And yes.
3 spins. Well done by Scruff Ninja, though.
Yep. And just to clarify, yes, there is a setting that makes all locations reachable. We call that 100% and items, I think.
Yes, I believe that's the normal one. That just makes it so like things like big key can't be locked in swamp chests, big chests, for example, or small key being locked in Hera basement. Okay, so Scruff Ninja has his first crystal at 13 minutes in. Humbug gets the info on the pendants as well. And I think we'll probably seeing a Village of Outcasts and Kakariko check at the same time. Also, possibly a second dungeon in Thieves Town.
Now, notice what Humbug is doing here. Humbug is ignoring Hera. And is opting to check Paradox Cave for the boots. That makes perfect sense.
Oh, it's 100% location is what it's called for no lockable things. Keys or anything. Thank you, Duke Firebird.
Yeah, I don't have those settings in front of me, so I don't remember all the terms.
Alright. First look at Paradox Cave here on Humbug.
Scruff immediately finding his flute and being like, well, I guess that's in logic again. And seems to look like, sure hope nothing was in Paradox, which we're finding out right about now.
Indeed.
Let's see, rupees.
There's the boots.
Boots.
Nice and early.
Wasn't too many places it could be at this point, so.
I mean, it could have been on the Ether tablet.
Yeah. Or floating island, though I think it's actually accessible at this point, so.
Yeah, actually it is. So one more bit of information Humbug can get over here, if he chooses to do so, is to check the medallion on Turtle Rock just by walking over.
And you can do Hookshot Cave. Get 6 red rupees. That's a better deal.
That's a much better deal. Oh, is that a fire rod?
That was a fire rod. We don't need that. We don't want that.
No, we don't.
That means Pendant Skullwoods is a thing. Or Lamp and Pod Basement. Looks like it's Ether for Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I barely didn't catch that.
Fire rod wouldn't be necessarily a bad thing, though, if you think about it. Because the bosses have an item, you can just go straight to the back of Skullwoods as we get the flippers there, and the mushroom.
Interesting.
And just go fight them off, and hey, if both items are in the back, you're good. You can just skip the rest of Skullwoods. And Skullwood is a green pen, so Mothula technically has 2 items on him. One immediate and one you cash in later. So Fire Rod may not be the ideal thing to see in the seed, but it could still have some value behind it. Also, we kind of needed the Ice Fire Rod for, at least currently, for Ice Palace, so there is that as well.
Yep, Humbug is making his way into Hair as well. Technically, he knows he can do it for sure since he has Fire Rod. There's the big key. No need. Probably we'll see a Herapod as well with boots and hook in hand, though.
Oh yeah, we're seeing
Assuming
it.
he knows it. Seeing the bomb setup, it looks like. There you go, got it. Got it. He has it.
It's a fairy to heal up. Smart play when you're going up against Moldorm.
Looks like we didn't see anything out of Skullwood.
Not that I noticed, no.
Not that that's super surprising, considering one's on the boss.
Heart container on upper ledge. Won't be seeing that today.
I'm actually surprised Scruff is doing this long run here with, since he knows where boots are. Roughly. Most likely. He knows he has a very high likelihood of getting boots on Death Mountain. Let's go with that.
Probably just trying to be a little bit more efficient with his overworld routing, which does make some sense.
Problem is, he could have doubled this up with the King's Tomb there, but now he can't. To be fair, it's
Yeah.
not a long run either way, but still. It's faster with boots.
Well, for all NinjaTuna knows, the boots are on Ether or they are on Floating Island. He didn't have access to East Side.
Hookshot gives him access to East Side.
Well, he was up there early, is what I'm saying.
And for, the thing. Well, I know then, but he's doing all this instead of going back now, is my point.
Yeah. And we're seeing an early Misery Mire check. From
No,
Humbugh.
I like the gamble from Scruff. I just don't like him not going back now that he has Hookshot and Flute. Or at least not going back before doing things like Graveyard. Anyway. Either way, this is still a thing he could do. Like, he could still find plenty of things in Thieves Town coming up soon, so...
Yeah, I think what Mr. Scruff's gonna do is route in the full South Shore loop with Dark World.
Oh yeah,
Which could
definitely.
lead him to the hammer, actually.
Yeah, we are still missing that hammer. We're still missing, I guess technically, the bow for that matter. Canis Maria.
And whatever value was from Misery Mire, I did not catch that. Chad is saying it was Bombos. And the boots are required to the seed. As we have a big key on the torch here in Desert.
There's the small key. Haven't seen any of the items yet, though, so still gotta go find one of them. That said, the more Humbug finds, the less likely if Scruff finds something around this area that Humbug will make his way back.
What is the last places you... Oh, boy.
Yep, there's that hammer.
There's that hammer, and that might be inclination enough for Mr. Scruff to, yeah, go into do Thieves Town here, which is another crystal.
Yep. That's definitely why you do those first, just in case.
And I wouldn't be surprised if at this point in time, Mr. Scruff, after doing Thieves Town, goes up the mountain.
Actually, I expect him to go do the Smith Chain after this, since Boots doesn't really help that anyway. He can also oh no, he doesn't have the flippers. Almost could have gone straight to Swamp Palace. Not that that's a great idea, but...
Oh, it is fully available to our runners, and it is a required crystal, but we do need the flippers first and foremost.
Yep, Scruff has to find his flippers first.
Which happen to be on Dark Dead Mountain.
I think I saw 2 items so far.
I believe you were correct. I simply believe I saw a map and the big key, of course.
Just a
Our container
heart.
on Lampulas. But that is one of the 5-6 crystals.
Yeah, the other one being pod, which we don't have the bow for yet.
Or a logical way to reach the boss because the dark room.
Well,
Version
you
30
know. Dark
It's version
rooms
31. You can light torches, but there's no torches in one of the rooms on the way to the boss.
I half expect the lamp to be in the basement. Under the...
I half expected two, to be perfectly honest. There's a singular green ruby for Mr. Scruff.
I think that was the third item then, so should be able to skip the rest to the boss. We'll have to look at...
Oh boy, there we go.
I can know with the orange sword. That's something that could be missed by Scruff.
I thought you said Aghanim there for a second. Gina, yeah.
I always say them fairly similarly to the same. Anyway, so Scruff is making his way through the rest of Thieves Town while Humbug possibly is heading that way himself. Nope, heading to the dam. We actually have not seen a South Shore check from either runner yet.
First look at it.
It's one of those interesting ones for sure.
I kind of like what Humbug is doing here, though. Oh, there was one more item left.
Oh, yep, was only one. Okay. That is definitely 3 items now.
But yeah, I like what Humbug is doing here. Basically, not prioritizing the Dark World too much, even though he has access. And just checking these early sphere locations for any sort of extra progression.
Definitely good to do them while you have a chance. With the flute, it's pretty quick to get to them.
Oh. What the... There's Quake. Looks like Mr. Scruff did a pallet glitch here in Blind's fight. Very interesting choices.
I have no words. The words are gone. There's none.
Well, gets the crystal out of there, and it was 3 bombs that I noticed, based on the shape of the item that was picked up.
Yeah, it was definitely 3 bombs, but that's about all I got for this. that was the thing. Anyway, so Scruff Ninja, like I said, will likely be heading to... It looks like, yeah, that's what he's planning to do, is the Smith. Gotta do the dig game first, of course, because you can't do the dig game while you have either the purple chest or the Smithson.
Or any follower, really.
And Humbug set up a water walk, and is going to use that to check the island and probably head to Zora area. Humbug does have access to Ice Palace, though.
That's a lot of digs.
For 1 rupee.
Speaking of digging, there's the shovel and the lamp.
Never mind, there's the lamp. We found it.
Empty bottle being thrown into the fairy fountain. Gets a free blue potion out of it. Very nice deal.
Yeah, it's useful. Scruff checking the item there real quick. Since he hasn't actually been down here yet. I don't think he's checked the library yet either, so he'll probably do that before picking up the blacksmith.
The diversion in this race is just so fast. It's actually very good to see to watch.
It's very diverse. Humbug is using his boots to check a lot of things, but a lot of those things aren't much of anything at this point. I mean, lamp is nice, and shovel could lead to something, but other than that Death Mountain stuff, it really hasn't led to a lot.
I think this is Humbug heading into Dark World. So we're gonna start finding things like the hammer, and actually that's really the only thing that NinjaTuna has found that was of anything of importance, really, now that I think about it, was there.
Yeah, that's true. There hasn't been anything else. Come on, purple chest. So it looks like as well so basically the longer this goes, the more not having boots is going to hurt Mr. Scruff. This walk doesn't really do much, but since you can't sprint with the chest anyway, but like this whole entire Thieves Town journey from Humbug will be quite a bit fast, especially since it looks like Humbug is skipping Skullwoods and Graveyard Ledge and such, so even if he doesn't, it'll still be faster. And he'll be able to check the Bonk Rocks and Kingston.
Yeah, I'm still a little suspicious about Skullwoods having something of importance. It is again 2 items on that boss technically, 1 immediate, 1 later on.
Yeah, it's an auspicious place for sure. You easily have bow or cane. Nothing in K45.
Gonna be continuing on his way.
Scarf will probably also be checking the South Shore area as well while he's here.
Yeah, it makes the most sense to do so. Purple chest leads to a piece of heart.
Did Humbug actually do Hype Cave?
He did not.
So we'll probably see a Hype Cave from Scruff as well.
And we didn't see Humbug do it because Humbug did not only just now found the hammer, if you recall. Hasn't exactly been over this way.
Couldn't get there. That makes sense.
Alright, legacy or reputation. Here comes the Hype Cave. Let's see what we got.
How hype will it be?
$20 to start.
Cooling down.
Shield.
Still pretty cool.
The ice rod.
Very cool now.
The ice rod.
I rate that a solid -1 out of 10. Because the ice rod counts as a negative point for the seed.
Fair enough, actually, considering that Turtle Rock is a pendant.
I think the only thing that could be on pedestal at this point is Bombos, but still. Because Bow and Kane can't be. And we know where everything else is.
Well, actually, Bow could be on pedestal, but it would be our intended silvers.
Well, I mean, yeah, there could be the second bow on pedestal, but that doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't really matter that much. Not with these runners.
Okay, so Humbug is working on his 3rd crystal, while Scruff heads over to Mini Moldor. Looks like Scruff has ditched his portal, so we'll probably see a flute somewhere. And hopefully for his sake, the mountain is where he goes with that flute.
Sorry. To answer a question in chat, yes, Eastern Browse does require the bow. There are enemies in there known as red Igors, and they are only able to be damaged by the bow. 2 shots. And you have to kill them in order to advance through the upper floors of Eastern Palace. There's also some in the way in Palace of Darkness, and also an ice edge you need to shoot there as well. And there's 4 red gorillas on the way up DT, so the bow is required no matter what that you're doing, unless you're playing fast Ganon somehow, and you somehow manage to get a seed in which both of those dungeons are pendants.
Accidentally taking 7 instead of 8 there, so I'm gonna walk up to Ice Rod Cave.
Alright, first look at Bonk Rocks. Only a heart piece there. Ice Rod Cave. It's only 20 rupees.
Okay, we already know nothing is on Graveyard Lead. Looks like Scruff is planning on doing a fake flipper up to Zor.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to wonder if he doesn't realize that boots are up on Death Mountain.
I think he has. He knows he's there, and he knows with the flute and the hookshot that's in logic. I think he's hopefully banking on the fact that they're later on. I'm sorry, I'm just laughing at that swimming right.
Yeah, that's a great swimming strat.
It's just a warp pipe snorkel sticking out of the water.
I don't think we've seen Hobo yet, so this will be different.
And that is something kind of important. That's the half magic.
It's good to have.
Yeah, it's not important, obviously, for progression's sake. But it's a nice safety to have if you're doing, have to do Fire Rod Ice Palace, which these runners are looking like it's going to be a real possibility here.
I'm placing it under likely at this point, yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Link to the Past before, Cold Stare requires you to basically have a full magic meter to break through his shell with just a Fire Rod. With half magic, you still have some extra shots to spare to fight the boss with.
Let's see, where is Humbug going? Oh, south. Okay, never mind. He hasn't done Smith Chain or anything yet. Makes sense.
There's the lamp and the shovel now for Mr. Scruff, although they are not in logic for him currently. That is a flipper lock check.
We didn't see that shovel check, so we'll probably see that from Humbug. I don't know how long until we see it from Scruff. Yeah, Humbug will probably end up doing Swamp at the end of this. Since we know he won't really find any... Well, we don't know for sure he won't find anything. Could be something on the shelf.
So I counted there. That was 19 digs for a single rupee. Not really worth it.
A bit of a waste of money, but hopefully you dig up enough 20s on the way in. Or on the way to that one. So you see a save and quit to... Yeah, it looks like Scruff was heading up the mountain now.
Yeah, cleaned up as much of the overworld as he can. Has not found anything important. And knows that the lamp, or the shovel rather, will not lead to anything important about the flippers.
Is he doing Spike Cave, I wonder here? You got the hammer
Maybe.
out, so he must be. There's pretty much no other reason to do that. I thought he was going to go the north way up out of the thing, but...
Half Magic Volcano Burner does make this perfectly safe to do.
Oh
Take
yeah,
some damage.
it's half magic as well. Yeah, should be no problem.
Yeah, take some damage here as well to minimize how much magic is used.
Yep, you get your life back on a save and quit, but you don't get your magic. Just bombs, though.
And
Let's see the return trip, it looks like, though.
yeah, unfortunately, we don't have the boots for Ninja Tuna. And one of the funnest things to do here is actually set a spin machine on those small sets of stairs in front of the chest and just dash your way back out of the cave with invincibility on.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of fun. Yeah, you don't see it a lot in normal Spike Cave checks, but in things like entrance random or cross keys, which we'll be seeing in a few weeks, it's a lot more common because you'll see it in places you want to get back out of and keep going through.
Alright, so MrScruffNinjaTuna on the way to the boots, as well as all the other goodies that have been over here in the Paradox Cave.
Just bombs on the shovel, so nothing new there. So we're still missing that bow, most notably, but also the Canis Samara.
We have two strong contenders right now for where our next bit of aggression is. We have Swamp, which is full clearable, and we also have Ice, which is full clearable.
And don't forget Pod, and Eastern, and Sahasrara's. None of those have been checked yet.
And those are all still viable options, although, unlike Swamp and Ice, we cannot full clear out the entire location. Still need that bow.
Correct. They aren't full clearable, but there's quite a few checks over there. If someone was looking to make a play, that's probably the place I would make a play in.
Oh, I think Humbugh is going to be heading into Swamp here, maybe. He's going to be draining the dam at least. Might as well dip in. Has everything he needs. Even a Tempered Sword to make the first phase of Argus go by that much faster.
Oh yeah, this makes perfect sense from Humbugh with the way he's routed this. We'll see if Swamp has the answers today. There's the
Immediate
cane.
red cane. Oh no.
That isn't a convenient spot if that ends up being Scruff's Go Mode item, though.
And thankfully we don't have the medallion for Turtle Rock, otherwise that gives us full access to Turtle Rock as we know it.
Depending on if he does Swamp or Ice first, at least.
Yeah. I'd say at this point, we just need to find the medallion and the bow.
Bow and medallion, yep. There's the fire rod. I know one thing Humbugh really does not want to see, though, is the, wow, I'm spacing it now. The, Ether medallion.
Well, thankfully...
Do notice, sorry, he doesn't have the ice rod.
Yeah.
Where was that?
That was in Hype Cave, which is nearby.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll find it then. There's Scruff's flippers to make the lamp in logic. I don't think we saw that mushroom turning yet either, did we?
No, we have not.
Might be waiting for a fake powder.
Which is now on the table for Humbug as well.
Yep.
Now, unfortunately, we did find one of the 2 dungeon items that we don't care about, the map, or sorry, the compass rather, in the south chest. So there is at least 1 item on the left side.
Ooh, Scruff is taking his fire rod and going straight down into ice. So now is when we see things getting interesting.
Yep, divergence happening on both sides. 2 items on the left side confirmed now. Finding the map there, along with the shield. This is our first look into Ice Palace as well.
Have you been counting items in Swamp?
I have 2 items confirmed on the right side. We found map compass.
Okay.
Or left side swamp, rather.
Left side, yeah. We found the big key yet?
Don't think so.
Hmm.
But it could lock itself.
We did get a key out of the first chest for Ice Palace, so that's a nice, efficient routing now.
Oh, just barely missed the spin. I think he had a poke instead.
Ah.
And yeah, like I was saying earlier, because of the fact that the bosses have a guaranteed non-dungeon item on them, those maps, compass, big keys, or small keys, Cold Stare cannot have the key, which means Ice Palace cannot be locked by the King of Samaria at any point during an Ambrosia siege.
Scruff having a bit of issues with the bomb jump.
Alright, Ice Rod coming up now for Humbug. And the Fire Shield as well. Best
Skipping
shield.
left side Swamp is interesting.
Yeah, that is kind of interesting, actually. Probably feels a bit behind, considering found like next to no progression after following the boots for so long. And I think both runners feel that way to some extent, actually.
Yeah. Scruff for finding the boots really late as well. Humbug gonna go get his half magic though.
And this might be what nudges Humbug to go into ice.
I'm guessing the way he's routing this, he's going over to at least Pyramid, maybe Catfish, and possibly Pod. Probably Pod EP with, like I said, there's a lot of items over there. That is 1 item out of Ice Palace.
Is this our first look at the pyramid, actually?
Yep. I've not seen this yet from either runner. Just a piece of heart, though. Big Scruff is going to go check the iced tea room here.
That makes some sense.
Looks like we're going to get a catfish and probably mushroom check here. Yep. So not going to fake powder the mushroom. There is the second item. So the last item is actually on Cold Stare. Nothing on that. So now Scruff, knowing that the last item is once again on Cold Stare, he can just head straight down to the basement. A little bit low on health, but he has, I think, something in a bottle? Maybe? Yep, blue potion.
Alright. Alright, Cold Stare, what do you got? 8 shots to burn down the shell. It's exactly half magic meter. The bubbles did get away from Mr. Scruff. This is gonna be barely
Fire
aggressive
rod.
fight. Just gonna start flinging fire everywhere.
Just fling fire everywhere and takes care of your cold problem.
Red mail.
Disclaimer, not something you should actually do.
Alright, so Humbug now heading into Ice Palace. All that's in here though is the crystal. Nothing of major importance in here.
Yeah, we're looking EP pod sauce roll area at this point. Must be the bow in. I don't think there's a whole lot left otherwise.
There is. And if Mr. Scruff is gonna do what I think he's gonna do, he'll head over that way.
There is still that Skull Woods.
Yeah, I'm thinking go to Skull Woods at this point. At least in terms of what I would do.
It's not really a bad call, especially if you're planning on going to pod EP. You may as well do that green pendant turn in first, just in case.
Exactly.
But Scruff is going to go down and do Swamp himself. Though it will be interesting to see if he does left side.
Yeah.
Because if Bo is actually over there the whole time, that could be huge.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that. If Bo is over there, this could tip the scales. I'd say both runners are pretty even right now.
I think Humbug mostly has the desert advantage at this point. And a few more checks due to his boots efficiency.
Yeah. But in terms of progression, I'd say they're fairly even. Humbug does have the Canis Mari up, but this girl's about to discover it.
Yeah, item-wise, they're basically all caught up to each other. Scruff is missing the Tempered Sword out of Agonist Cave, which could or could not.
Yeah, Mr. Scruff has not touched the Mire Desert region at all.
Okay. Humbug gets item 1. We'll see if he heads straight to the iced tea room like Scruff. The other way of getting there actually is you could do a bomb jump off of the freezer. Can be difficult to set up though, so we shall see. Yep, he's at least going to freezer room.
Humbug here is in a very precarious spot, I'll say. I think is the right way to describe it.
I mean, with so much left to check, skipping left side swamp is fine, I think.
Yeah.
It could just be there. That is the thing that can happen. It's happened to me. But I wouldn't fault him for skipping it.
Well, the other thing is, and both our runners could do this actually, both could think that pod is Turtle Rock is some kind of progression if they find that thing.
But we still don't have an ether, so
yeah, the one thing they don't want to see is ether.
yeah, no, we don't have a book yet either, so
that would also hurt.
we don't know if pedestal is required. We still need a bow and an ether to even make it be possible, but
Yeah. If pedestal is required, it's only for bombos.
yep, that
Not
is the
be
only
anything else.
possible thing because the only other items we're missing are ether and bow, which would be everything we need except for that bombos to get into Mire. So we shall see. So Humbug is heading to Cold Stairs, Scruff is heading to Argus, and they will be trading those two dungeons back and forth. But like I said,
Yeah.
Humbug definitely has the advantage if something isn't in left side swamp. Or or if Scruff doesn't even check left side swamp.
Humbug definitely has the exploration advantage going for him, and also the combat advantage. But progression-wise, they're fairly evened up. It could be changed in a matter of moments. Does get the corner trap. They get away from him. One of the posts have one hit. There it is. And there they go.
And there goes Argus at the same time.
Alright, this is the moment here with Mr. Scruff. Does he go back down to the left side swamp? If he
So that
does,
is...
and there's...
Sorry.
If he does, and there's a bow there, he's suddenly in the driver's seat all of a sudden. But if it's not there, then Humbug dodges a bullet, but then where's our bow?
Ooh. He got the mirror out. So, but
He's
I thought he
going
wasn't
in.
going to, but he's going in.
So looks like we have just a few moments here. So just a quick shout out to our tracker, Ricky Okakiri, for keeping those items up to date for us down there. Doing an excellent job thus far. And more importantly, keeping us honest up here in the booth, really.
Yeah. Looks like Humbug is going with your plan of attack, I should say. And that going up to Skullwoods, getting those, maybe possibly 3 items actually, because I think we actually didn't find one in the front.
I don't think we found one in the front either, so I can expect him checking the chest here, the big key chest here on the way to the back, but that's it.
Yep. I think Humbug checked the front already. No,
Yeah,
actually, no, he didn't. Did he?
No, Humbug did not check the front.
I know Scruff did, but yeah.
And there's a small key there, which actually is an advantage in
Yep.
this dungeon.
Makes it so you don't have to kill an enemy, really.
Yeah, just grab this key here, and you can use both to skip the Gibdo fight. Or at least the Gibdo that's before the boss. Alright. Here we go.
Yeah, we're about to see a couple new checks. We'll have to see if either of them end up showing anything.
Let's say Swamp has 2 items, one of which could be the big key. There it is.
Okay, so we got to run back to get that last item in the big chest. What's in the big key chest? Just rupees.
So it looks like Humbug dodged a bullet, but there's still the item in the big chest.
Yeah, so don't get ahead of yourself there. Well, what does the moth have? Just a piece of heart.
So the item that you get immediately for defeating the boss isn't worth it, but that green pendant might.
Yep, and there's still that second item in Skullwood.
Exactly. Second item coming up here that Humbug skipped. Just 3
bombs. So left side swamp, not a thing.
Humbug dodged a bullet there for sure.
Yep, the only way that's not a time loss for Scruff is if we end up with a worst case scenario of bookless pedestal for bombos.
And there's the map. So there was another item that Scruff found.
Okay, yeah, there was a second one in the front.
But based on the tracker, it's probably another one of our junk items, probably 20 rupee or something like that.
Yeah, it wasn't useful for sure. Looks like Scruff is going to get his desert out of the way now, as well as Meyer Shed. Probably get his tempered sword.
So we've narrowed it down to the eastern area.
At the very least, something is over in the eastern area, yep. Scruff, interestingly, going straight over to the checkerboard cave.
It does make some sense. Check these further checks first, and then go up in the desert after a after a flute or something.
Yeah, maybe. Just not sure what he's looking for to. Maybe he just doesn't want to do desert.
Well, he knows this is a required dungeon.
Yeah, it can be a while to find the second item sometimes.
Also, just noticed the all red layout from both our runners. Red shield, red mail, red sword.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so over to pod area Humbug goes. There is almost assuredly some kind of progression over here. For a runner's sake, I sure hope it isn't Ether Medallion.
Alright, first things first, green pendant, what are you? The bow! Fluff was required!
Not necessarily, but likely.
220s in the butt catching net. But now, Humbug has the bow, will be able to full clear both pod and eastern.
Yep. What will we find in Eastern and Pod? That is the current question.
One thing we're hoping to see... Well, we were looking for a coin one way or the other.
Yeah. We know we want it to be the Bombos Medallion, but the Ether Medallion is another possibility.
Yeah, if we see Ether Medallion, Pet opens up. We see Bombos Medallion, we're in go mode. That's basically all it boils down to at this point.
Yep.
And it was a bow lock pod. So if a bow's here in pod, that means Moth was 100% required.
Ooh, that was a good spin from Humbug. I haven't seen that before.
Neither have I. And doing pod is gonna put our 5 crystal into play. Anyway, here's the Mimics, otherwise known as Marias. Now, the nice thing about pod is the front is always going to have 4 or key, at minimum.
At least 4, yep.
So
Kind of like you
found...
game the system, especially if one happens to be in the big key chest.
So if Humbug finds the other item here, which he did not, then it's either up there in the vanilla big key chest, or it's down there. And overall, I like the routing decision Humbug is making. Gonna check this first. At the very worst case scenario, he wastes the key to get a key. And then he can mirror after checking this chest down here, which is yet to spawn.
Yep. I'd say worst case, this is compass or map. It's just a key. Okay.
So this is the other item. Silvers. I called it. I called it.
The swipes. I like the swipes.
So Mofula was 100% required.
Well, you know, required is a strong word.
I suppose that's also true. Yeah, you could have potion glitched in here. But logically required, at the very least.
You know, what if Bombos is here? In the
dungeon or in Magic Bag?
sorry, in the magic bag.
Ooh.
I don't think it's likely, but what if?
Then we're in no mode.
But where is that powder then? Game.
And just a single layer from the Magic Bat. Ironically, found that's vanilla location was in the dark basement that Humbug just cleared out.
Oh yeah, Scruff hasn't done Bonk Rocks yet, so he's gonna get those out of the way. And King's Tomb. So this is a lot of extra stuff that Scruff is that Humbug had already done. That Scruff now has to. Which unfortunately is definitely not leading to a bow. Okay, there's the second dungeon item out of pod, so we're just going to be seeing real items from here on out. Never mind, I thought I saw the compass already.
We saw the big key in the map. So this is the last item here. Just a heart piece. Onwards and outwards towards, or outwards, what? Words are hard sometimes. We're on our way to almost our king is the point.
Onwards and around to the places at the other place.
Exactly.
Oh, Scruff getting the shovel out of the way. So I think with this, Scruff will be caught up to Humbug in checks. And technically we'll have a couple more done with, well, a couple more not counting the ones that Humbug is ahead in the actual order of the seed. In, like, left side swamp. But at this point, I don't see Humbug making his way back to left side swamp.
Yeah.
Basically ever.
I can see one scenario, and I don't think he'll do it. That scenario being he's on a 50-50 choice between Turtle Rock and Left Side Swamp.
I could see him doing it before doing PED maybe, but I actually don't even know if I see that.
Yeah, it's very unlikely that Humbug goes back to Left Side Swamp at this point. And you can actually hear the sword beams being a detriment to Humbug.
Yeah, I have taken to actually just purposely getting hit by the hallway turtle before that one, just so I don't have sword beam. At least if I'm running tempered or higher. So yeah, so Scruff is going to get one of the bows, but he's not going to get the other one. So that could make a big difference when it comes to Ganon. They do have tempered, so it won't be a huge difference, but with Humbug already having a bit of an advantage here, it will probably be enough of an advantage to guarantee. But that kind of all depends on where Bombos is at.
Yeah. Could be right here in the boss for all we know.
It's not.
Nope.
So Eastern has Bombos or Ether or the book. One of the three.
No. We have one more. We have two more locations opened up. That was the other 5-6. Pyramid Fairy is now.
Oh,
as
or
well.
Pyramid Fairy. You are correct. Sorry, I forgot about that one.
Honestly, I don't blame you for forgetting about that one.
It's just never has anything.
And in this case, we're on an item hunt mode. For all we know, the the two medallions could just be sitting right next to each other in pyramid right? That would be hilarious. And you find the Eastern first, the Ether one first. Alright, first chest here in Eastern Palace is only the big key.
Scruff is going to check Eastern first. You know, this could be a time gain overall.
Could be. Cold Sword.
Cold Sword. Because I say that because if Bombos is in Eastern, oh no, it can't be because that was the second item. No, he got the big key first. Never mind. There's one more.
Yeah, there's one more item.
If Bombos is not on Armos and is in the second item before Armos, then he can be straight and Gobo when he gets the bow and possibly gain some time back.
But on the reverse, if it's Ether, he might think it's Turtle Rock. And so would Humbug.
Well, yeah. If it's Ether, then I mean, even then that won't be a... Humbug will still have the advantage since he's going to find it.
Yeah.
But it will catch Scruff up and amount.
Other items in the big key chest.
Yep.
Oh hum.
I think Humbug is probably sweating quite a bit right now, like, oh no, it's in left side swamp. Why is it in left side swamp?
I mean, those checks you leave behind do sometimes eat away at you. But I think Humbug's in a good enough position that he feels like he's made the right call. And it's only going to be that way if he enters like a last location sort of mindset. Which can happen.
Just 10 arrows, so... Armos has the answer. I think. Or Pyramid Fairy, right.
I just had a really cruel thought. What if it's Ether on Armos and Bombos on Trinex?
I mean, that's less evil than my thought of Book on Pedestal, Bombos on Bombos Tablet. Or Ether Tablet, for that matter. That'd probably be worse.
I was about to say, no, it would be even worse if they were both vanilla, but that's not gonna happen this scene.
Okay, so Scruff heading back to Pod is going to get his bow-locked bow. I imagine he's not going to get the green pendant bow, but we'll probably be able to extrapolate where... Like at this point, he will pretty much have to assume it's on Skullwoods and some...
Yeah. Only 20 rupees on the Armos Knights.
Pyramid Fairy it is.
Alright, so... fairly wide open to see this from the appearance, but it's actually pretty much... there's only really one path to follow to the end of the seed.
Yep. So Scruff is doing something found called a potion glitch. For some reason, the screen stops scrolling. I'm sure there's a reason, I just don't know it. When you use a potion and hold a direction while it's happening on particular screen. So usually it locks, so you can't do that, but because of the potion, you can. And then the door triggering is just triggered when there are no more of the Gorias on screen. So the Gorias go off screen, the door opens. Don't have to kill them. Yep, and Humbug is not doing left side swamp. He's heading straight to the pier. He tried to do a damage dash.
Yeah. It's a common strat you see with the bomb. Oh no, this is gonna be fancy.
This is fancy.
Oh
no!
no! Hinox.
Oh.
So if he got off screen there without getting tagged by that Hinox, the bomb would have magically respawned behind him.
We might still see it, but that was just unfortunate.
Yeah, Hinox is like, nope.
Here, have a bomb right in your face.
And yeah, you do have to be somewhat fast with it. No, I'm just gonna walk it. Play it safe. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So basically, the deal with the bomb dupe glitch trick thing is when you zone, once your timer, right when your timer hits 0, the bomb will then appear behind you instead, just because of shenaniganry with the link to the passcode. Once again, there's more technical explanations that I don't fully know, so.
Alright, so here in... Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pet is alive. We just found the Ether Medallion in the Pyramid Fairy Cave, and there's no other places left.
Time to go to Turtle Rock.
It's always in Turtle Rock. Always Turtle Rock.
It just swipes a bunch of times. And yep, not even bothering with Left Side Swamp. He's like, I know where this is going, and I don't like it.
And the worst part is, it could either be in the dungeon, or it could be in bed.
Technically, Humbug also hasn't checked Spike Cave. Just as an aside.
Yeah, that is also true. And Mr. Scruff's about to receive his bow.
Yep.
And I expected a reaction from that, and didn't see one.
Just keep trucking along, I guess.
Alright. Turtle Rock has bombos behind it somewhere.
Yes, it does.
The moment it's found, Humbug's in go mode.
If it's found.
It could be as early as the first floor, it could be as late as pedestal at this point. All we know is that it's somewhere related to this dungeon. And this is the last pen dungeon for our runners to do.
Last one for Humbug, at least.
Yeah, it could not be patched, so.
You'd definitely say best case for Scruff here is if it's actually in Turtle Rock. Because Pedestal C at this point is worse for him, because he hasn't done Skullwoods. I mean, Skullwoods is quick to do, but especially when you're checking Pedestal anyway. But it's very possible that he's not going to finish Eastern here as well and just go straight to the Pyramid Fairy.
Alright, double small key for Humbug. Meanwhile, Mr. Scruff is doing Helm's King. Pretty straightforward fight. Breaks the mask. 2 slashes with the gold sword. Down goes Helm's King. It's now tied up 6 crystals apiece. But if it's a pet seed, Humbug has the advantage by having 2 of the pet dungeons done.
Yep. This can be an item. It is the 3rd shield.
French vanilla, I might add, because this is normally the dungeon you get the mirror shield in.
Yep.
And with that, we are also fully equipped in terms of our main kit of armor, shield, and sword.
Yep. Yep, and Scruff is indeed skipping Eastern to get his Ether Medallion. Okay, we'll see the chest here.
cave,
It's the cave.
which we know does not lead to anything.
It leads to a heart. A heart is something,
I
technically.
suppose. It could be Saint Card. But with 13 hearts, red mail, our runners don't need any more help than that. They are sufficiently tanky for the seed.
Yeah, they are definitely that. I don't think Scruff has checked Catfish yet either.
I don't remember.
Ah, red potion. Okay. The fairy's given some good potion refills this seed. One of them was
Yeah.
a blue, the other one was a red.
In the cave.
Looks like we are going to see Catfish first from Scruff, so putting him even further behind.
I mean, for all he knows, this is Bombo, so I don't blame him for it. In the 9 hunt mode, you don't leave any single or check behind if it's got a loose end left.
Nope. Except for Left Side Swamp, apparently.
Well, Left Side Swamp is a choice, to be perfectly honest. I can understand
So
why
is
you would avoid
Catfish.
it. Two small keys, so
Okay.
may not need to go down to Laser Bridge.
I don't think we've seen map or compass yet either, so there's only 2 items on laser.
I don't recall seeing it either.
Looks like we're seeing Skull Woods from Scruff first as well. So he's gonna get his silvers, but not anything else.
I don't think he's even gonna get the silvers. That's the green pendant turn, if you recall.
I mean,
There's-
if he's doing Skull Woods, he's doing the green pendant turn in here.
Fair. Green potion and a map thus far on Laser Bridge. There's the compass. So last item is here in this chest. Interesting.
That's one way of doing it. I like it.
Bombos.
And
There it
there's
is.
the
Go
bomb.
mode.
Go mode at 121.07 for Humbug. Just needs to finish up Meyer. Well, to start and finish. And then we head into the tower.
Thankfully, it's just to find the big key in Misery Mire.
Yep. Okay. Gotta love another Oops All Dungeon seed.
Isn't really, though. We never did have to see Trinex.
I
I'd
count
say
making it to the last chest of Bumper or of Laser Bridge as all of Trinex is a formality.
I mean, that does make sense to some degree. But we also didn't have to touch Eastern at all, if you recall.
Well, yeah, but you're not gonna not do Eastern after Pod in that situation.
Also understandable, yeah.
Also, that was a double negative. My apologies. We just don't stand for those around here.
Big key immediately for Humbug.
Yep. Nice fast mire. I'll take it.
Yep, just has to lift the pot on the spike room over here and then just advance straight to Vitreous.
We're having a bit of a jerk Mothula for Scruff, though. There we go.
Gets the heart piece. Gets the mirror ready.
Yep, got a mirror to flute, so. Wonder where that book ended up being.
Probably in GT. And Scruff's gonna turn it in just to make absolutely sure where he's going to seed. I think at this point, this is the last location for him before he has to make the commitment to go to pod.
Eastern Armos, technically.
Oh, that's true. Also, spooky action from Humbug. Pretty straightforward stuff these days. There's some silvers now for Mr. Scruff. His bow is now in logic.
Yeah. He gets it immediately out. Guess he's gonna go do Armos.
Yep. Also, blink and you miss it. Here comes Vitreous.
Sorry, I blinked. What happened?
Silver arrows are... Well, let's just say that Vitreous is allergic to them. Gets a piece of heart, which does fill the heart containers up a little bit for the full refill, so that does save him a little bit of time, not too much.
It's like I get that magic though, so. Definitely faster though. Gotta get those little
And
time
ladies and gentlemen,
games.
we have a game we like to play. That's the 7th Crystal. Should you get started while I explain it? So, folks, we are now on our way to Ganon's Tower. There are 22 chests in the basement, but only one of which can have the big key we need to finish the seed. As you can see, we're getting a bunch of numbers in chat. Give us a number where you think the big key will be today. Humbug, what guess are you gonna go for?
I'm not Humbug. Humbug is racing.
Oh, Humbug. Sorry, Freddy, what do you think?
It took me a second. I am guessing Rando Room.
Random room? Alright, I'm gonna say it's early. I'm gonna say it's 5. If they go for right side, that's usually the compass chest, and that's usually my go-to chest.
That's fair.
It's always the one that spawns the pets.
I feel like they've been through enough this seed. I hope it's an early one as well.
Chad immediately making a joke out of my flub there. I'm okay with it, honestly. Last chance, folks, get you guys in. We're closing it as soon as we see Humbug enter the tower.
Nice hook dash up the stairs there. Scruff is now caught up to Humbug in pendant count.
And Humbug is going left side first, getting a small key on the torch. That is item number 1. So sadly, it looks like my guess will be a little bit later than I thought, and it was already later than I thought. That would have been 6. Oh well.
Could still be 5 though.
Could still be 5. It's that same room, and really the order doesn't matter. Chest 2 is the magic powder. Big
Yep,
key!
it was
number 3.
Nice and quick.
Nice and quick. In the Dark Magician room. Orange Koopo is the winner of the guessing game. Name here today.
So now we just have a quick climb up the map or the tower. Silver's making this nice and quick, as well as, you know, boots, butter sword, lawnmowers.
Which technically Link is one, if you think about it.
You're not wrong.
At least in vanilla play, he is. So much fun cutting the grass in these games sometimes.
Ooh, Tough was barely dodging that silver arrow shot. Okay, that's a lot of the escape here.
Yep, the gauntlet is taken care of quite
Escape.
nicely.
A lot of the gauntlet. Sorry.
It's still a little
Yes.
early for both of us, let's be real.
Humbug is escaping from this seed.
Pretty much. I'll be
I'm
honest,
sure Humbug wanted to escape from this seed a while ago.
yeah, this was certainly an annoying one. I'll say that much.
I mean, it wasn't that bad. Having early mirror boots and flute is always nice.
Yeah, the late game could have been a lot better though, with its bombos placement.
This is still clocking in under 140.
Oh yeah, still pretty good.
Nice torch room.
Alright, we're up on the final floor. We can use that powder to some great effect here in the next room. We'll see if Humbug chooses to do so.
Yeah, let's go grab a quick refill.
Yeah, with those anti-fairy and the bubble trapped in that specific pattern, you can generally get 2 fairies in that normally would heal you up to full health, or at least get you close. Molder
Yep.
if you're not playing around.
It was time to be a little annoying there, but not too bad. Of
Alright.
course, Humbug not bothering to pick up anything since we're fully kitted out. There's nothing useful they could want.
Yeah. The only thing that would be even remotely useful is another bottle with a free fairy in it, but not really necessary when you have so much health.
I mean, the red boomerang, though. Cough.
I mean, we already had the blue boomerang for menuing, so
Yeah.
sadly, I can understand not picking up the red boomerang, even if it was available.
Oops. Scruff throwing that bomb a bit wide.
Nice double there for Humbug here in the Agate 2 fight. This
Yep.
is a really difficult pattern to get triple on. Yeah, unfortunately, this is 1, so it'll be a 4 cycle.
Should be good here. Yep.
Yep. I didn't see a blue shot from Agate 2 either, so that was a really good set of patterns. And with Agate 2 down, it is now time for Humbug to fight the pig. And gold sword, silver arrows, fairly straightforward fight here. Again, only requires 6 slashes in the first 2 phases of the fight, after which just a single slash to advance phase 3 along onto its completion, and then keep the torches lit. Hit 1 sword to stun, 4 silver arrows, game over. Something to note, though, is Humbug needs to be a little bit sparing with his shots, with only having 8 arrows in the quiver. If he falls to Ganon and uses 5 shots, he'll have to do some silverless hits, and that will be 3 hits per silver arrow loss at that point. In a 2-frame window, I might add. Or it's a couple of frames, but it's fairly tight. Already on to the 3rd phase here.
Yep. Nice and quick.
I don't think Humbug will go for Torch Glitch, but might just do it just for safety.
Well, it depends on where Ganon ends up.
Ooh. Doesn't get the option to do so.
Wait for him to get in the middle of the room.
Oh, that's a great position. That could be a triple. 1, 2. Go mode for Mr. Scruff as we get
There's
the
4.
Ganon Slay.
Scruff hits go mode. Humbug hits finish mode.
Just a 1x3 bridge. And GG's to Humbug, who has finished in first place with a time of 1:33.47, making his team, Team Forfeiters Are Us, undefeated in their division, which is, as we forgot to mention, the Dark World Conference. Or no, this is Light World Conference. My mistake.
Yeah, Light World.
Yeah, this is Light World Conference, Hyrule Castle Division. So, currently, as if I can get it up here and we get Humbug in here. Currently, this puts before her. It's tied in the top of the league with the other 3-0 team, and we are now joined by Humbug, GGCU, Grid Racing here today.
Thank you. Evening.
Evening. How did you feel about those bow placements?
I thought that I made the big brain play of not going to Eastern Pod area when I got the bow from Sasrala, and then the game just quote-unquote rewards me with another bow. A bow-locked one.
A bow locked.
Yeah, that pissed me off.
Yeah, I always saw the slashes. It was
Yeah,
a thing.
good. It was meant. They were meant for you. So when I got the second bow in pod, I thought for sure that I was very behind and that Bombos was probably on left side swamp, since I skipped that. So I went to Pyramid Fairy, making myself ready for it not being anything. And when it was Ether, there was a glimmer of hope. So I just rushed Turtle Rock and
Yep.
where Bombos was.
Thankfully, Mr. Scruff did check left side swamp. It was the big key and 20 rupees, and the big key led to just 3 bombs. So you dodged a bullet here.
Yeah, I figured that Sumaria was the only thing. Well, it was the only progression in swamp that kind of tipped the scales for me. I think if I hadn't found any progression going through swamp the first time, I probably would have done left side. But since I found Sumaria, I just thought to myself, well, I have all of Eastern Pod area left. I have Hype Cave, I have Ice Palace, I have possibly Turtle Rock, so
Yeah, makes sense.
It worked out in the end. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was. You actually had a pretty decent lead for a lot of that. By the time we got into that point, we hadn't really found anything else, so we knew it had to be pod area. By the time you got to like doing the Skull Woods and such, you had a pretty big lead, mostly because your opponent, Scruff, did not make it out to East Death Mountain for quite a while. He did pretty much the entire Dark World tour with mitts and no boots or anything.
We chatted a bit in and I mean,
yeah.
When I got the mitts, sorry, the gloves in Escape, I was very tempted to sequence break the mountain and to just find the boots on Old Man or Inspector the Rock.
Yeah.
But I actually thought that, well, maybe Hookshot and Flute are in CAC, and I can do left and right side Death Mountain too. And
Well,
they both
Little
worked,
did you
so,
realize.
if only I'd realized that. Yeah. So that was lucky. Yeah, that was very lucky.
So there was our 4th bottle. That was on the pedestal, apparently, according to what we just saw on your end credits there.
Oh, yeah.
And we should mention at this time, as you can see from Mr. Scruff here, he has forfeited from the race officially. So GG's to him all the same. Very strong race. Could have gone either way at some points.
Yep, there's definitely some checks that could have happened. Like, I was kind of wondering at some point you'd already used your mushroom, but Scruff was doing a fake powder check. I was kind of wondering if some weird sequence of events would lead to Bombos being there, but no such luck. It was a single arrow.
Yeah, it entered my my mind that powder possibly could have something, but by the time that I turned in my mushroom, I didn't have that much left, so I was fine with just letting it go.
Well, we are now joined by MrScruffNinjaTuna. GG's to you. Good racing here.
GG.
And
Yeah.
it was actually, I will say this much, Mr. Scruff, it was pretty bold of you to just go up Death Mountain here, and that was some really good divergence.
Yeah.
It was just very unfortunate that the bow, that the flute, and the hook shower happened to also be in Kakariko.
Yeah, it dawned on me that was kind of my biggest mistake when I found those. I was thinking, oh man, I got Titans and Master Sword so early. This is gonna put me in a huge lead. And then I saw Flute, and I'm like, well, crap.
Yep. Yeah, honestly, you looked like you had a good advantage there just for a good about 5-ish minutes, even with Flute and Hookshot being there. But then Paradox Cave having boots and all that just put you, I think, in just too much of a hole to really be able to dig out of. Never mind how trolly the seed ended up being.
Yeah, you did get fairly close at one point, I would say. But
Yeah,
Humbug having the boots had just a little bit of too much of an advantage, even still.
That's why I was sitting there thinking, all right, I should have gone back up to the mountain to get those boots. That's the whole reason why I went up there early in the first place. But because I had the Titan's mitts in the mirror, I just wanted to go ahead and clear everything, hoping I would find good progression. Unfortunately, everything was just pretty much garbage.
Yeah.
I do find it hilarious, though, that I ended up finding the Out of Logic Silvers as my first bow, and I was that close to just taking that ether and immediately going up to Turtle Rock, but I thought, okay, logically, I will have to either find the first bow in Skull Woods or Bombos leading to the first bow in Mire. Do I take that chance?
Yeah, that's a tough 50-50. It would have been an uphill battle at that point anyway, to be fair, because Humbug was already up on the mount, or was already about to find Ether at that point. Or not Ether, Bombos at that point.
Yeah, and I figured if he had already found, if he had found Silvers and Butter, then it would have been, yeah, a terrible uphill battle.
Yeah. But yeah, so that is how it goes sometimes. But either way, it was still a very nice performance from both of you. It was fun to calm. Is there anything else you guys would like to say about the run? Or the seed?
Don't sequence break. That only leads to bad things.
Sequence break more. You might be able to skip a couple of things. Yeah, but I mean the seed was fun. I had a lot of fun doing this. With early boots and early mitts and hammer. Yeah, I just felt like the league fantasy league that we have going on. It just crept into my mind, and I just kept bonking everywhere. I bonked on walls and ladders and everything. So sorry to everyone for picking me in their draft. I am truly sorry for all those bonks.
That's actually kind of funny because someone in chat was like, I have Humbug, and he's like not bonking at all. This is they must have just missed your actual bonks. Or
yeah, conveniently looking away at the correct times to just miss them. Yeah, probably.
Well, GG's to both of you. Your next match, of course, as I just checked the schedule, that is going to be Friday. Well, your team's matches, rather. It'll be Tabby Cat versus Residador. I'm not exactly sure who's on which team.
Tabby's on
Residador
Hyrule,
is mine.
And then Residador is Forfeiters. Yep.
Okay. And coming up in the near future here in terms of the league, here on SpeedGaming 3, we have Pug Trio versus the Immortals, Futon versus Road 788. And then later on tonight, also on SpeedGaming 3, we have Team the Titans Mitts and Dark Shadow 9 versus Sailor Nep. And of course, make sure to follow our two runners here. They put on X Race for today. Make sure to also follow SpeedGaming and SpeedGaming so you don't miss any racing action
not just a Link to the Past randomizer league. And as a matter of fact, I actually know something here. Going on right now on SpeedGaming is the finals of the German Link to the Past randomizer tournament. So that'll be a good watch there. We got some English restream commentary for you there as well.
Yeah, definitely go check that out. It should be good. Also, actually, tonight there is actually not even a doubleheader. It's actually fairly concurrently the both of the matches of Beard Force 1 versus Titan Mitts. One on this channel, like I said, after the Futon Roach match, but the other one will also be on the main Speed Gaming channel with Unknown Availability versus Dante.
Yeah,
So that'll be fun to watch both of those at the same time.
and of course, make sure to also follow the Link to the Past Randomizer League and Link to the Past Randomizer Leagues 2, or the Link to the Past Randomizer League is the Twitch name. And we have a match. It's Mitts versus Team Hot Ditch. Falcon versus Sneaky Wombat. That'll be later tonight on the Link to the Past Randomizer League Twitch channel at 8:10. And of course, make sure to also follow my co-commentator Freddie and our tracker review of Fury as well. Both great people to work with. Good working with you tonight. And that's
You as well.
That's about gonna do us from us here. So for all of us here at the Link to the Past Randomizer League, I've been Wolfling0370, and we shall see you all next time. And thank you for watching. Have a good day, everyone.
Bye.